Good afternoon, viewers. How are you all? Missing your school and classes? We too. That's why Secretary Sir arranged this program so that we can take some classes and you also can listen to your teachers and then discuss with your friends and learn, keep on learning things, right? So, thanks to Secretary Sir. Okay. By the way, I am Padmaja, JL in English, working at TSWR College, Narsingi. In our college, I handle English classes, but here I am not going to discuss anything English with you, some general things. But before we begin our discussion, I would like to ask you a few questions. Okay, are you ready with your pen and paper? Right, here are your questions. Okay, do you want to be popular in your school? Look at the slide now. Do you want to be popular in your school? Do you want to be liked by everyone? Do you want to be successful in your attempts? Do you want to be happy always? So, for all these questions, children, you have to answer either yes or no. Now, you don't have to write essay answers, just write yes or no. Here are some more questions for you. Do you want others to be attracted by you? Do you want to be the leader? If your answer is yes, you are already on the way to success. Surprised? Yes, it's true. If you want to become something, it means that you have the zeal. When you have the zeal, you are halfway through your success, right? Okay, when you have the zeal, you will start working for it. Okay, fine. Now, you have the zeal, you want to be the leader and you want to be successful. But then, how to be successful? What takes us to this success? Let's see what takes us to this place. Can you see this? Now, you are here and you can see your fruit of success there, right? The fruit of success is there and you are there. Then how to reach your fruit of success? Here, you have a road, right? In front of you, there is a road. And what is that road made of? It's nothing but personality development, okay? Through personality development, you can reach the fruit of success. You can get your fruit of success, right? Fine. So, what do we understand now? You are something now and you want to become great in your life and the way to your success is personality development, right? But what do you understand from personality? The moment you say personality, many things come to your mind. You might have heard people saying, yes, she has a beautiful personality or he has a beautiful personality. That means people equate personality with physical appearance, right? Many people feel that or believe that personality is equal to physical features or appearance. But this is wrong. This is a wrong notion, children. Personality is not about physical features or your appearance. Okay. Then what is personality? Personality is what you are, your behavior and your attitude, the way you stand, the way you speak, the way you respond to situations, the way you behave with others, all this comes under personality. So, personality is not something outside, it's your inner self, it's interior, right? So, this is one example how you can identify personality and beauty. Beauty captures the eye, but personality captures the heart. Whatever your eye see is the external beauty. And many times, if you think, we forget what we see, but we don't forget what our heart feels, right? So, personality is that which touches your heart. So, beauty captures the eye, but personality captures the heart. Fine. Now, we know that we want to be successful. Now, we know that we can be successful through personality development. This is what we are going to discuss. Our topic today is personality development. Fine, very good. But then, how can we do that? How can we develop our personality? That is a thing. Okay. Here are the steps for personality development. Okay. So, what are these steps? First of all, you have to know your strengths and then focus on your strengths. Then know your body language and use proper body language and then be helpful and supportive. First of all, we have to think about our strengths. Okay. Have you ever thought about this? Do you know how many strengths do you have in you? When I say strength, I don't mean physical strength. Strength here means what you are good at, your ability to do something well, right? So, focus on your strengths and then know your body language. You know body language. What do we mean by body language? The way your body moves, the way you stand when you are speaking to someone, the way you show your facial expressions, all these come under body language. So, it's very important for us to use proper body language, and then you have to be helpful and supportive. So, through all these steps we can develop our personality, right? Okay. Then what do you see here? A glass, maybe. Most of you might have seen a glass, and some of you might have seen the empty space, and some of you might have seen the filled space. Some of you might have said half of the glass is full, and some of you might have said half of the glass is empty. This is actually, children, an age-old example which is used to talk about optimism and pessimism. But here I would like to use this to talk about our strengths and weaknesses. Now, this empty space is treated as our weaknesses, and this filled space is nothing but our strengths. Okay? If you observe carefully, our strengths are more than our weaknesses, but what happens most of the time, we worry more about our weaknesses and forget our strengths. Now, my friend is the class topper, and however much I try, I am not able to get good marks, right? And my friend is good in sports, right? He plays all the games and he is selected for the state team, but I am not selected even for the school team. These are our worries. We worry about our weaknesses, but at the same time, you forget your strength. If not you are good at studies, you may be good at games. If you are not good at games, you may be good at singing, you may be good at dancing, or you may be good in cooking also. So, remember, each strength has a future. If you are good at cooking, you can go to a hotel management course and become a chief chef in a 5-star hotel, where you don't have to cook, but you can just supervise the cooking and earn lakhs of rupees. If you are good at games, you can pursue your career in games. If you are good at drawing, you can become an interior designer. Like every strength has its future. So, we never have to worry about our weaknesses. We are actually wasting most of our time on our weaknesses than trying to improve our strengths. Okay? So, from now onwards, what should we do? Instead of worrying about our weaknesses, let's focus on our strengths. This worrying about the weaknesses happens when we compare ourselves with others. Instead of comparing ourselves with others, focus on strength. So, what should you do now? As soon as you complete this session, you sit with your book and draw 2 columns in your notebook and call strengths and weaknesses. And you note down all your strengths on one side and all your weaknesses on the other side. Your strengths, think about them, and if you cannot list out all the strengths, you talk to your parents, you talk to your sisters, you talk to your brothers, they will be able to help you. Then list out all the strengths, and then from that moment onwards, start focusing on your strengths and not on weaknesses. Okay? Fine. Now, we want to become something in life, and we know that we can do it, we can become great by developing our personality. And to develop our personality, what should we do? Focus on our strengths and develop our strengths, and we also have to improve our body language. Now, we are going to look at a few people who have become great in their lives with the help of their strengths. They never bothered about their weaknesses, but they simply focused on the strengths and became great in their lives, right? Who are they? Okay, children, do you know him? All the 9th class, 10th class and first year students, and everybody should know him. He is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man and former president of India, right? Okay, where was he born? He was born into a large middle class joint family in Rameshwaram. It's a village in Tamil Nadu. But then he rose to be the President of India. He did not opt for the post, but the government requested him to occupy that place. That was the respect he commanded, right? And he designed the missiles, he was a space researcher, he was a defense researcher, he received more than 10 awards and he was honored with the highest civilian award of India, Bharat Ratna in 1997. And he wrote more than 25, he won more than 25 inspiring awards. And the greatest thing is, he loved teaching. And you know how he died? He was lecturing in IIM Shillong, and during that lecture, he had a massive stroke. He fell down and died while talking to the students. Okay, if you remember, during Second World War, his family didn't even have sufficient food to eat. But his poverty did not stop him from attaining this greatness, right? So, here is our second example. Okay, 5th class and 6th class students. Do you know him? He is there in 5th class textbook. He is Stephen Hawking, physicist and cosmologist. Can you see him? He is sitting on a chair, but is it a normal chair? No, it's a different chair, right? Do you know, he was born in 1942, and at the age of 19, he had an attack of some neuro disease, ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's a nervous disorder which made him crippled and he was not able to move. But then he never stopped. He continued his work and he received more than 25 awards. He lost his ability to speak in 1985. You know why? He had an attack of pneumonia, and for some days he was on a ventilator. That means the last stage. It is considered as a last stage. And the doctors asked his wife whether they can remove the ventilator so that he will die instead of suffering. But she said no. And then they made one hole from the back of his neck and put a pipe inside, because of which he lost his ability to speak. But he continued to speak with the help of a speech synthesizer. You can see it here. He has an Intel computer and a speech synthesizer. For some time, he continued speaking with the help of his eyebrows, by moving his eyebrows, and then later just his cheek muzzle worked, and still he continued, and he continued to teach and research until his death. Okay? So, these people have their weaknesses. Now, this man Stephen Hawking was so horrible, his life was so horrible, but it never stopped him from becoming great. Okay. Then some of you might be thinking now, okay madam, these are intelligent people, that's why they became great. But I am not so intelligent. I cannot do that. What do I do? Here is your answer. Do you know this lady? 6th class children, she is there in your textbook. She is P.T. Usha, the golden girl. She is also called the Paoli Express and the sprint queen of India. Okay. So, P.T. Usha, she was also born in a remote village and she doesn't know anything about games and sports, and when her PT teacher recognized her capacity, and when he called her, she was scared that he was calling her to give her some punishment because she thought that she might have done something wrong. But then she won 102 medals and awards, out of which 33 are international gold medals. You know, she won so many medals, and she was also honored with Arjuna Award by the government of India. But here I want to tell you one unfortunate incident about her. When she was participating in the Olympic Games, there was some foul made by some other athlete and they had to start it all over again, and then in that she lost her Olympic bronze medal by 1/100th of a second, by 1/100th part of a second, children. Now, the second itself is the time you take to blink your eye, and it's 1/100th second, you know, that is a value of time. So, we have the habit of procrastinating, we have the habit of postponing everything, but keep in mind, If you postpone, you will be missing something. Okay. So, PT Usha, the golden girl who won 1 or 2 medals and awards. Right. There may be doubts in some others' minds. Okay. She has physical strength. The earlier two, Abdul Kalam sir and Stephen Hawking, they are intelligent, and this lady is strong. What about me? I am weak. I cannot run. I cannot study. Then what do I do? Your answer is here. 10th class students, you know him very well, right? Who is he? Nick Vujicic. Look at him. Does he have hands and legs? No, he has no limbs. It's only a torso. He just has his head and body. But then, in the first picture, what is he doing? Playing football. And in the third one, he is playing golf. And in the middle one, he is giving a motivational speech. Nothing stopped him from becoming world famous. Yes, in the beginning, at the age of 8 or 10, he wanted to kill himself. But then fortunately, he was saved and he is a legend now. So, there is nothing that can stop you if you really have that zeal in you to achieve something in your life, right? Okay. Then there can be some other questions like, okay, now these people were born long time ago, so they became great. Now they are all great, yes, but in today's world, nowadays, there is a lot of competition. No, how can we do all this? Here is this answer. Do you know this lady, this girl, everybody? She is Purna, one among us. She studied in Tadwai school, right? And now she is a Guinness record holder, the youngest to conquer Mount Everest. At the age of 13, she scaled Mount Everest, right? And the Guinness record holder. Now, what extraordinary strength does she have? She is physically fit and she is one among us. With the help and support of Secretary Sir, she managed, she did that awesome event. I mean, she was able to scale Mount Everest. Okay, fine. I will show you some more people. Now, who is this? The first one is Hima Das. She is also called Dhing Express. Now, Hima Das hails from Dhing in Assam and she is again a sprint queen. She is so good at sprint, is fast running, right? And in the beginning, she liked football and sprint, and she doesn't even have shoes to wear. Okay, she was so poor that she can't even afford to buy shoes, and so she used to walk, run in the fields barefoot. But then, in a span of less than a month, in around 25 days or so, she won 5 international gold medals. That is her strength. Nothing stopped her from winning all those gold medals. Okay, right. And the second one you see in this picture is Nandini Swero. She is a student of 10th class from Social Welfare School, Narsingi in Rangareddy district. Now, what about her? Her father has a small tea shop, very poor family. But then she broke the Asian record in last year's heptathlon competitions. Heptathlon is an event where you have to participate in 7 different kinds of events, and she broke the record of 6 years. The record was set 6 years ago, and now Nandini broke that record and set a new record. And last year in Assam, the Khelo India Youth Games were held. In those games, Telangana athletes won 4 gold medals, out of which 2 are Nandini's, right? And what stopped her? Nothing. Her poverty did not stop her. Nothing stopped her. And she is on her way to participate in international programs. So, what do we understand from all this? If you have the zeal, if you really want to do something, you can do it. Now, the next example. Our local heroes who are going to become global heroes. I have taken only a few examples here, children. You know, there are many, and we have the time constraint. We cannot talk about all our heroes here. Now, these 2 boys, Vinil and Mahesh, they are from Social Welfare School, Chilkur, who participated in Doodle for Google drawing competition, right? And they won their certificates and medals. And now, these girls, Shravani and Ravali, they bagged the first 2 ranks in Indian Maritime University, Chennai campus. They were the toppers in the entrance test. Not only that, they sustained their tempo, and in their first year exams, they were the university toppers. Shravani is the topper and Ravali is a second student. Shravani is from Tekulpalli school in Khammam district, whereas Ravali is from Narsingi school again. And this one, Tirupati, he is a student of Itikyal school in Mehboob district, and if you can see him, he wrote his own book of poetry. He published his own book of poetry. Now there is an empty space, it's for you. If you also want to do something, you can do it. Now as we are talking about global heroes, I have a breaking news for you here. You know, you might have heard about Harvard University in America, right? And one Professor Reimers from Harvard University wrote a book, okay, and that book is being launched on 30th April internationally. So what's great about it? Many people write books, yes, of course, there is nothing great, but the great thing is yet to come. In that book, there is a chapter about Telangana Social Welfare Residential Institutions. Is it that something great? Okay, hats off to Secretary Sir. Sir, we are proud of you, because of his efforts only all this happened. Now our society, our schools are going to be a part of, not going to be, they are a part of international books. We are now global, okay, right. So children, if you have the zeal, if you have that capacity, if you want to do something in your life, nothing is going to stop you. Fine. If you remember, if you can think of, our Secretary Sir has already given you, long ago, he gave you a very powerful weapon for your personality development. Any guesses? Can you guess? If you can't guess, I'll tell you. Do you know now the 10 commandments which we have been reciting day in and day out for the past 6-7 years? We have been talking about these, and these 10 commandments are the perfect key for your personality development. If you follow them scrupulously, religiously, seriously, you can do wonders. Actually, these 10 commandments were given in Old Testament for the people to conduct themselves in a decent and dignified manner and live well. And our Secretary Sir, Dr. Praveen Kumar IPS, designed these 10 commandments that we call Swero Code of Conduct for us, for the Sveros, for all of us to conduct ourselves properly and become global heroes. Okay. Do we know all those 10 commandments? Can you read with me? Yeah. The first one is, I am not inferior to anyone. Right. Remember, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. If you don't want to feel inferior, nobody can feel inferior. But most of the time you say, okay, like I said earlier, my friend is good at studies and I am not so good, so I feel inferior. My friend is good at games, I am not good, I feel inferior. But it is all in you. If you don't want to feel inferior, nobody can make you do that. So we should never feel inferior. The next one, I shall be the leader wherever I am. Be the leader, don't be the follower. Try to lead people always. But then remember, there is a small difference between being a leader and being a boss. Okay? We don't want to become bosses, we want to become leaders, right? I shall be the leader wherever I am. Be the leader. The next one, children, I shall do what I love and be different. I want to do what I love. Now I want to go in for a hotel management course. I will love cooking and I want to do that. But many people, others may say that, oh, she is doing cooking. I mean, she wants to go into cooking course, right? She wants to become a cook. But that is what I love. I want to be different, right? Whatever I do it with sincerity. I do it for success. And I shall do what I love and be different. The next one. I shall always think big and aim high. Smaller aim is a crime, as somebody said, right? We all know that. If you aim low, it's a crime. So we should always think big and our aim should be high. Then only we will be able to reach our goals. And how do you like this one? I shall be honest, hardworking and punctual. I shall always be punctual in whatever I do and I shall do hard work, and I'll always be honest. Okay. So, your honesty, your hardworking nature and your punctuality will always reward you. Right. The next one, I shall never blame others for my failures. If you can see the picture, you are pointing to someone, at the same time 3 fingers are pointing at you. So, when we try to blame others, we will be blamed in the end. That is why we should never try to blame others for our failures. The next one, I shall neither beg nor cheat. Okay. I don't want to beg anyone, I don't want to beg, I don't want to cheat, but I want to work hard. Hard work pays its reward. See, that man is digging and gold is waiting for him there. In the same way, if you work hard, if you write your exams well, ranks are waiting for you there. If you work hard, you will become something great, but for that you need to work hard and get it. Nobody gives it, brings it out and gives it to you. You cannot beg for it, or you cannot cheat somebody and get that. For that, you need to work hard. Right. The next one, I shall repay what I borrow. Whatever we borrow, we need to repay. It's not that you borrow pencils, pens, etc. and return them and say, yes, I returned. It's not that. Whatever you take from the society, either social welfare society or from the society at large, whatever you take from that, you need to pay it back. You have to do your duty towards the society. And then, I shall never fear the unknown. Okay. So, who is the best example for this? From the people we saw till now? Purna. No? She scaled Mount Everest, and you know how difficult it is, but she never feared the unknown. That's what she used to say. I always believe in this. I never fear the unknown. That's why I am able to climb it, scale Mount Everest. So, if fear is holding you back, think about this. Never fear the unknown. Okay? I shall never fear the unknown. Right. And the last one and the best one, I shall never give up. Never give up. In any circumstances, you should never give up. If you give up, that's it. That is your end. You can never do anything. You will not be able to reach your goal. However much difficult it is, you should never give up. So, what do all these commandments tell us, children? They tell us how to become great in our lives. They are the key to success. Now, can we relate these 10 commandments to the people that we have discussed till now? For example, Abdul Kalam sir, and he never gave up. He never thought that he was inferior to somebody. He was always punctual, and remember, you know what? He used to sleep after 12 in the night every day, after 12 a.m. You know, he used to sleep then. He was hardworking, he was punctual, and he was honest, and you know what he is now. In the same way, Stephen Hawking, he never gave up. He could have happily taken rest because he has his life, he has his job, he has his pension, everything. But then till the last breath, he continued working. He never gave up. He never thought that he was inferior because of his physical deformity. He became great. In the same way, P.T. Usha or Nick or all our local heroes and global heroes, all these people, they made something in their life, they became something life because they followed all these 10 commandments religiously and scrupulously. So, this is the best way for personality development. Right. Now, we know what we want to become. Now, we know the how we want to achieve our success through personality development, of course, and we know how to achieve that personality development. What are the steps for personality development? What are the steps? You have to focus on your strengths, you have to focus on your body language, you have to be helpful and supportive. With all this, you will be great in your lives. Okay, fine. Then what is the next step? Till now we discussed about strengths. The next part is our body language. Okay. Now, why is body language important? Why do we talk about body language so much? Because how do we communicate? By using our body language and words and tone. So, 55% of our body language communicates to the others what we want to communicate. That occupies the most part. Okay. So, whatever we want to tell others is communicated 55% through our body language and 38% through tone and 7% through words. So, most people say that I am not good at English, or I cannot speak well, that is why I have stage fear, this and that. But look at this, only 7% of your communication is done through words and 38% is through your tone and 55% is through your body language. For example, hi. So, what do you understand from this? Yeah, am I happy or angry? Happy. What are you doing? So, what am I conveying? That I am angry, right? Suppose you are in the dormitory and you want to call your friend who is somewhere away. So, how do you say it? You cannot call, shout. So, then what do? You do it. This is also a body gesture, a gesture that you use to communicate. So, all these are come under body language. So, body language plays a very important role in communication. Okay, right. Now, what are the do's and don'ts of body language? The first thing is, don't cross your arms or legs. Now, most of us, when we sit or when we are talking to someone, we fold our hands like this. We fold our arms like this, right? Even I have the habit and I feel comfortable, especially in front of my officers and my principal ma'am, I feel comfortable like this. But these days, crossing your arms like this means that you are not ready to accept what they are trying to tell you. It means that you are not receptive, you don't want to receive anything, and most of us have the habit of crossing our legs while sitting, and this also comes under disrespect. We cannot cross our legs, or we should not fold our arms or cross our arms like this when we are talking to others. The next one is, have eye contact but don't stare. This is the most important thing. Why? Because when you go to somebody, talk to him or talk to her, and if you don't look at them in their eyes, it means either you don't have confidence, or you are telling them lies, or you are cheating them. Okay, that may not be actually the reason. You may be afraid of doing it, looking at them, but then without eye contact, you cannot prove your sincerity. You cannot actually put your point forward without eye contact. So, the most important thing in body language is eye contact. When you want to tell somebody something, just look into their eyes and tell them. But at the same time, don't stare. You should not stare into their eyes. Stare means just keep on looking at like this. Don't stare, just move. But then with eye contact, you have to tell them what you want to tell them. Then next one is, listen intently. You have to listen to them carefully. Okay, when they are talking to you, if you look this side or this, or if you look down, or if you ring your fingers, or if you do something like that, they understand that you are not interested in whatever they are telling you. You don't want to listen to them, or you are getting bored. So, whenever somebody is talking to you, you have to listen to them intently, and also now and then you have to nod. When they are talking, you have to nod your head like this. It means that you are following their talk, or you are following what they are trying to tell you. Okay? So, the next one is smile and laugh whenever it is necessary, not always, not unnecessarily, but you have to smile and laugh. Okay? If you smile, you look friendly. Smile, it doesn't cost anything. So, it's better to wear a smile always on our faces, right? So, smile and laugh. If necessary, you have to laugh. If necessary, you have to smile, but not unnecessarily, but whenever it is necessary, to make the person, the one who is talking to you, feel comfortable. Otherwise, if you put a long face like this, or if you stare at them without any feelings, they don't know whether you are listening to them or not, or whether you are getting bored, or whether you are interested. They cannot make out anything. Okay? That's why When you are listening to somebody, you have to nod and you have to smile whenever necessary and you have to laugh whenever necessary. So, don't cross your arms or legs, have eye contact but don't stare, listen intently, smile and laugh. Okay? Right. Then, don't touch your face. When you are talking to someone, don't touch your face like this. Okay? You might have observed that many students or many people for that matter, when they are talking to someone, they put their hand like this. Have you observed this? I observed it many times. Many people put their hand like this and speak. Now, are you able to make out what I am telling you? No, because it's not clear, because I am obstructing the words. So, many people do this. Maybe because they are scared, or maybe they don't have confidence, or maybe they don't want to, they don't have confidence. It's not that they don't want to. So, and many people, they keep their hands like this, or keep on touching their hair, or keep on touching their cheeks, or wringing something they will be doing. So, when you are talking to someone, don't touch your face, right? And don't fidget. Now, what is this fidget? Fidget is, now you are sitting in your chair like this and you are moving like this and moving this side and moving that side because you are not able to sit constantly. Okay, but all this comes under lack of confidence. It means that you are not confident enough, or maybe you are getting bored, you want to get up, you want to move away, you don't want to sit there. They feel all that. That may not be the case. Maybe it's a problem with you that you are not able to sit properly, but then they understand that you are not interested in whatever they are telling you, or you are getting bored. Okay? Then the next one. Don't stand too close. You know, there are many problems. If you stand too close, what is one problem? You will not be able to make out what they are feeling. So, don't stand too close. Always let there be some gap, space between the listener and you, or between the speaker and you. Then you feel confident. Okay. Suppose you are attending an interview. You go to the interview hall. The moment you go there, don't drag your chair with a loud sound and just sit down and put your arms and hands on the table. Don't do that. It all becomes very disrespectful, looks very indecent. So, if at all you have to move your chair, just lift it gently and put it back, then settle, and then put your hands on your thighs, not on the table. Don't lay your hands and arms on the table, just put them on your thighs and sit straight and look at the interviewer. And then there will be a space between you and the interviewer and you will feel confident. That space gives you a lot of confidence. Then, don't slouch, sit up straight. What do you mean by sitting slouch? Like this. Now, you are sitting in the chair. If you sit like this, it's called slouching. Don't slouch. You always have to sit up straight in your chair. That shows that you are confident. That shows them that you have something to say. That shows them that you are you are attentive to their words. Okay. So, don't slouch, sit up straight. Now, what are the do's and don'ts that we have discussed till now? Don't cross your arms or legs, have eye contact but don't stare, listen intently, smile and laugh, don't touch your face, don't fidget, don't stand too close, don't slouch, sit up straight. Okay, now, what are the benefits of personality development? Why should I take so much of pain to learn all these? I am fine however I am. Okay, I don't want to change, I am okay, I am getting B grade, fine, I don't want to play any games, okay, I am happy however I am, the way I am, what do I do? So, here are the benefits of personality development. If you really want to develop in your life, you have to do all these things, and this is what you get when you develop your personality. So, what are those benefits? The first thing that you get is you can overcome fear. Okay, whatever fear in you, Now you know that when you are talking to someone, you should not touch your face or you should not put your hand like this. That is because of fear, and now you overcome your fear and don't do that. If you overcome your fear, what happens? You will be more confident. It increases your confidence levels, right? If you can overcome fear, like I shall never fear the unknown, if you can overcome your fear, you will be more confident, right? And when you become confident, you will become more creative. Your thinking power develops. When you have confidence, your thinking power works well and you can be more creative. Fine. And then when you are creative, you can learn a lot of new things. So all these things are interrelated. First you overcome your fear. If you overcome your fear, you will become confident, and when you become more confident, you will be creative, and when you are creative, you can learn a lot of new things. Okay, then what happens after that? If you learn new things, you can reach your goal. Whatever goal you have set, you can reach that goal. Fine. When you reach your goal, you will be an inspiration to many others. Okay, you can inspire others by your personality. Now we know what personality means. It's not the physical features, it's your inner self. When you reach your goal, you will be the inspiration to many others, like our global heroes just we discussed. And when you inspire others, you can become a leader. Now you are able to become a leader because you have an inspiring personality. And when you become a leader, you will be happy. Ultimately, you can lead a happy life. So what are these benefits of personality development? First you overcome fear, then you will be more confident, you will become more creative, you learn new things, and you can reach your goal, and you can inspire others, and you can become a leader, and you will be happy. When you do all these things, you can be like this. You know what an eagle does? When all birds find shelter from rain, eagle flies high above the rain. It flies high above the clouds and takes rest there. I mean, it is not bothered about the rain. It flies high above the clouds and it is not worried about the rain. It doesn't suffer in rain. So, children, you have to be like an eagle, right, which flies high above the clouds, which is not bothered about the rain. So, if you are like an eagle, you can also give shelter to many others. You don't have to look for shelter, but you can give shelter to many people, right? This is the saying of Dr. Abdul Kalam. So, try to be like an eagle. So, what all have we discussed till now? First of all, if we want to be successful in life, first of all we have to have that urge. So, if we are have that zeal to become successful, we can do it, of course. And how can we do it? Through personality development. Now, what are the steps for personality development? We can focus on our strengths. First of all, we have to focus on our strengths and improve them, and we have to focus on our body language and improve our body language. Then we have to be helpful and supportive. Whenever your friends are in need of help, you help them. You try to give them help, not in exams, but before exams. You can help them to learn well. Like that, be helpful and supportive. And then improve your body language. By improving your body language, by focusing on your strengths, you can become successful in your lives. Then you can be an eagle which flies high above the clouds, right? Okay, fine. Have we understood all this? Right. Now, you know, by this time, if everything was normal, you would have been in your summer camps. But unfortunately, you would have received your summer summary projects and you will be in your summer camps. But unfortunately, we were not able to do that. So, children, every day you are being given projects. You are listening to 4 classes every day and you have these projects here. And remember, these classes are not, these lessons are not class specific. All the students of 5th to 10th can listen to these classes and you have to write your projects. Now, this is your project. So, what should you do? Narrate in 100 to, note down children, take your notebook and note down this question. Narrate in 100 to 150 words how you are going to reach your goal with the help of 10 commandments and your strengths, right? Narrate in 100 to 150 words how you are going to reach your goal with the help of 10 commandments and your strengths. Now, after this session, as I told you earlier, you are going to take your notebook, draw 2 columns, strengths and weaknesses, note down all your strengths on one side and your weaknesses on the other side. Forget about your weaknesses for the time being, only focus on your strengths. Now, list out 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and then you know the 10 commandments and you know how they help us to develop our personality. So, what are you going to do? In 100 to 150 words, you have to write how you are going to reach your goal with the help of 10 commandments and your strengths. And you have to follow this format for your project. Now, first of all, you have to write about, you write this, my goal, and then my strengths, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my favorite commandments. Out of those 10 commandments, which are your favorites? Maybe there may be 3 or 4 or maybe all the 10 are your favorite commandments, whatever, write them. And then my plan. What is your plan? The plan is how you are going to use these 10 commandments and how you are going to become great in your lives. Okay? How you are going to attain your goal, reach your goal with the help of your strengths and with the help of these 10 commandments. Okay? This is your project, children. Okay. So, what have we discussed till now? We discussed that we have to develop our personality and we can do it by focusing on our strengths and by improving our body language. Now, some people are so good at their subject. For example, let's take the example of Einstein. I think you all know him. And one day, Einstein was sitting in front of his house, and when somebody came to meet him, they said, what happened? Why are you sitting here? He said, I came here to meet this man, but the house is locked and there is a slip saying that I will be back in 10 minutes. So, Einstein said, I am waiting for this man. He said he would be back in 10 minutes. Then the man said, see, it's your own house and you wrote that slip there. What does it mean? It is not that he is not intelligent. He is so intelligent, he is so much absorbed in his subject, he is so much attentive to his subject that he doesn't understand the minor things of life. Okay? So, we are also good at certain things. Now, Einstein is very intelligent and we are also good at something. You may be good at singing, like I said, dancing or cooking or playing games or speaking. You may have good communication skills. Use them. Then you can become an event manager. You can mobilize people. You can conduct events. You can organize meetings in your institution. You can become a leader. So, first of all, focus on your strengths. Find out your strengths. List them out and then focus on them and improve yourselves so that you can become something in your lives. Okay? Right, children? Thank you. This is all from Padmaja Jail in English, who is working at TSWR School, Narsingi. Thank you all. Keep learning. Stay home. Stay safe. Bye.